Hello, twisted humans.
Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alecia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. This is episode 203. Being in the 200s still is settling in for me in terms of episode numbers.
Saying zero is too much for me.
202, 203? Do I have
It is 203, but
203?
Oh, that one's good.
Okay, I apologize. That was not like me. Hold on, the siren is passing. Fucking rude. Yeah, that was unlike me. But what is like me is this week's episode. And we love fun facts on our show. And today's story stems from a fun fact in itself that I found. That, and it also pairs with my love of old Hollywood, hint, hint. But before we get into that, Sierra, do you have a fun fact for me? For episode 203.
I do have a fun fact. It is about the moon.
Yeah.
So I was watching this thing the other day that was talking about moon living or whatever, like people have been talking about eventually
like
colonizing the moon.
On the moon.
Not like currently, but like
eventually
talks of it. Yeah. So there's this girl on YouTube that I found. I don't even know her name, honestly, but she takes ideas that are popular in the world and breaks it down for you. So when everybody was talking about living and colonizing the moon, she's like, well, this is how it would actually happen, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, what I learned is the moon is basically Canada. Not exactly. That's what she said. And it made me laugh, and that's why I wanted to tell it to you. But so the temperatures on the moon, on the surface of the moon, fluctuate between 260 degrees Fahrenheit or 126 Celsius to negative 280 Fahrenheit or negative 173 Celsius, which is insane. If we were to actually live on the surface of the moon, we would have to live in these basically igloos. Funny, we were literally just talking about igloos off air. Basically igloos that are temperature controlled, and you could never leave it ever. Like if you went outside, there's a chance you would either burn to death or freeze to death instantly. However,
it'd be like the equivalent of being outside of your spacesuit.
However, there are caves. I mean, yes, but yeah. Anyway, there are caves on the moon that scientists have discovered with rovers and being to the moon and whatnot. Where, yes, I did air quotes.
For our non-YouTube watchers, Sierra just air bunnied that
because no one knows. Okay, it stresses me out.
No one knows for certain. Yep.
Anyway, there are caves though, and the temperatures in the caves stay around 63 Fahrenheit or 17 Celsius, which is the perfect temperature. When the temperatures in the caves do fluctuate, they go up a little and down, kind of a lot, but mostly a little. Basically, temperatures that Canada gets is the temperatures inside of the cave, which is awesome because then at least the igloo thing wouldn't have to be temperature controlled.
If we put just playing on the stereotypes of Canada that we all live in igloos and have pet beavers. So that's really interesting, actually. I'd live in a cave on the moon if I had to.
I would live in a cave on the moon.
As long as I got to bring electronics with me so I could still look at the ocean.
I believe
and trees, that'd make me feel better.
Their days are about 15. No, I think it's 5 Earth days long. Something like that. Too long, if you ask me. That's a lot of hours to not sleep.
That is a lot of hours, but I feel like
wrong.
We'd get so much more done.
It is 15. 15 Earth days.
Oh, yeah, that's far too long.
But then nights are 15 Earth nights. So
then do you sleep for that long? Does your body know that it's 15 Earth nights?
Dude, okay, wait. If 15 Earth days is one day and 15 Earth nights is one night, one full day night is a month long. That's insane. Mind blown.
I have so many questions. Do we age at the same pace?
I don't know.
Does your body know that it's that long? Would you adjust eventually, kind of like, time differences? I have questions. I have
Yeah.
so many questions.
I have a lot of questions too.
Today's episode is canceled, and we will be Googling the moon.
Yes, Google the moon.
Let
No,
us
but I do
know.
want to know what your fun fact is.
My fun fact I learned by listening to And That's Why We Drink this week. M, the king of fun facts, one might say, other than us, covered Huggin' Molly this week. And naturally, Sierra and I are very
What?
familiar with Huggin' Molly. So I sent them pictures of us in Alabama at the diner, all that stuff. And they were like, oh, that's super cool. Anyways, not the point. They were trying to figure out why Molly is called Huggin' Molly. And Molly was a name that was given to women that immigrated from European countries that really didn't have a name. Like, it was just like given to them because that was like a catch-all kind of for women.
Like Jayne.
But yes. But M also proposed that it came from the fact that hugging the Molly is a slang term or saying for like riding close to the rails so that you don't get squished. It's called hugging the Molly.
I've never heard of that before.
I've never heard of that either, but apparently it's a thing in the US, and it started becoming more popular when, like train hopping was a popular mode of transportation, and sometimes you would have to duck down real close, either to a wall or whatever surface, so that you didn't get squished by a train, and it was called hugging the Molly when that happened. So
Okay.
because hugging Molly hugs you so tight, maybe that's why.
Maybe. That is interesting.
So that is my fun fact, and shout out M.
Thank you, Em.
I love the theory behind the name. It really checks out. And I also love the color pink, which is why I chose this week's episode. Well, not why I chose this week's drink, but it works out in this little transition of mine. So today we have a pink drink. If you are not familiar with the pink drink, Sierra, would you like to let our listeners know what pink drink is?
Oh, dude. Okay, you guys, I swear I took a picture and it was pretty. This thing was rock candy at one point, and there was a lot of it. It went all the way up to here. Okay, this entire red stick was full of rock candy. Since it's been sitting in my drink, it has slowly dissolved. Okay, now it's all in my drink. Anyway, a pink drink is when it's from the Starbucks secret menu, but they finally put it on the real menu because duh, it's great. But it's a strawberry refresher from Starbucks with coconut milk to make it kind of creamy. However, Starbucks can probably eat a dick. I'm not sure if they did anything terrible lately, but whatever. I have a hack. So if you buy white cran strawberry juice from Ocean Spray and mix it with coconut milk, you have a pink drink. However, I didn't mix mine with coconut milk today because I didn't have any coconut milk and I couldn't find it at the grocery store. I mixed mine with sugar-free or zero sugar vanilla coffee creamer, and holy cow, this is like a strawberry sherbet in my cup. It might be better than a pink drink. And it has nothing to do with these rock candy.
No, now her pink drink might be pink syrup, but
it might be.
We'll stay tuned for that. The reason I chose this recipe was because my original choice, which is the favorite beverage of the person that I'm going to be talking about today, was called a pink lady. And for those who are not bartenders or cocktail lovers, Pink Lady is traditionally dry gin, applejack bourbon, lemon juice, grenadine, an egg white, and a cherry to garnish. And when you put it all together, it looks like a little pink martini with a little bit of foam on top. I don't know what it is about drinks with egg whites in them, but they really give me the ick. So I made a version of that, and I told Sierra, because she wasn't drinking, to just make a pink drink so that she could at least enjoy what she was drinking. So I did, instead of gin, I did wine. I did blended strawberries. I did coconut cream and freshly squeezed orange juice and a tablespoon of honey. And it is quite delightful. So it is not at all the drink that is paying homage here, but it tastes way better.
It sounds amazing. I have never had a Pink Lady. I have never had a drink that has egg whites in it.
It's
I've
so
heard of
common.
it a million times. I've never tried it, and I
It
really
freaks me out.
want to.
It freaks me out. There was like a lavender haze martini at a restaurant I went to that had egg white in it, and I was like, but that sounds so good other than the egg white.
I obviously I'm not drinking, and I plan on not drinking at least for a year. I just want to see what happens when I don't drink for a year. But if I deem that not much changes, which so far not much has changed for me personally, because I don't drink very often anyway. But I'm still giving it a full year. Anyway, after that, that is one of the drinks that I will have to try because I just want to know. I just want to know.
She's going to try a Pink Lady. Well, part of why I was trying to be cheeky is because grenadine is disgusting. For those that don't know what grenadine is, it's what's in a Shirley Temple with orange juice that gives it that little pink hue.
I did not know that. I definitely have grenadine.
I think grenadine is so gross, and I definitely thought that it was supposed to be strawberry flavored. It's not. It's supposed to be pomegranate cherry, as we learned before this. So my rendition of this drink really doesn't make any sense, but it's still pink. And it's pink. Tasty. So it counts.
We just changed everything else about it.
I have it in my conductor glass.
Yay!
A la episode 201. So I had to bust it out just for you guys. And I made a strawberry heart. I was trying to be a cute bartender. I even blended my strawberries so they didn't look like a crime scene this time.
Did you take a good picture?
No.
Oh, it's all for nothing. It's all for naught.
Did you take a photo?
Of course I did.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, but yours looks good.
For once. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's so good. I started drinking it on my walk from my kitchen to my desk.
Mine was so good that my
was
child
already half
drank
empty.
half of it. Yeah.
I was going to say, every episode that we record lately, Sierra is like a few minutes late because her entire family wants whatever cocktail she's made.
Yes,
so,
that's exactly what happens. Because I'm making mocktails now, my kids know that they can
she's
have
not
some
giving
of it.
her children alcohol. Let's just clarify here.
In my hair and it's driving me crazy.
You're really going to have to give them fair warning, though, when you do start drinking.
Right.
Just so everyone knows, this one's off limits.
Yeah, no, I made it, and Bubba, of course, is like, what's that? And I took a drink, and my eyes got really wide, and I was like, I don't even want to let you try this, because it's really good, and I don't have time to make you one. And he was like, I want to try it. So he tried it, and then he drank like half of it. And I was like, I'm not making you one, though.
Before we finish drinking our drinks, we are going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back to tell you about this week's episode. Today, I will be telling you about the life and death of Jayne Mansfield.
Definitely thought you were going to say the Life and Death Brigade, but
tell me the name sorry again? That I didn't. Jayne Mansfield.
It does not sound familiar for once.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So she is best known as being an archetypical blonde bombshell actress, and her career took off after her role in the movie The Girl Can't Help It in 1956. She also worked as a Playboy model. And this may be why she is famous, but it isn't why her name is remembered today necessarily. Jayne Mansfield was born Vera Jane Palmer to Herbert and Vera at the Bryn Mawr Hospital in Pennsylvania on April 19th, 1933.
Can I just say that Vera or Vera is like one of my favorite names.
It's such a cute
love
name.
That name. It is.
So that is her first name. And she was the only child of this couple. And she wanted for very little when she was growing up, coming from a well-to-do background. Her father was also a lawyer before his sudden death in 1936.
Also, you said her mom's name was Vera also?
Yes.
So when you started, I thought you were going to talk about the Life and Death Brigade, which is Gilmore Girls, and then we have a daughter who's named after her mom, which is also very Gilmore Girls.
I'm so happy that I
I'm
could
feeling
bring you
it.
this.
I'm feeling it today.
No, and this becomes a common theme amongst these women naming their children. And her father was a lawyer before his sudden death in 1936. He died of a heart attack while driving when Jayne was just 3 years old. And she was in the car.
Jesus, what a trauma.
Right? Thankfully, you only remember memories mostly, early memories are around 4 or 5, right? So thankfully. And as we know, it is tough for a woman to be unmarried during these times, especially as a single mother. So Vera remarried in 1939 to a sales engineer named Henry Lawrence Pierce. And just to avoid any confusion, I will be referring to Jayne Mansfield as Jayne for the rest of this episode because her mom's name is also Vera, and The new family moved to Dallas, Texas, and fell right into step together. Jayne dreamed of being the next Hollywood star, looking up to Shirley Temple, which is funny because I mentioned Grenadine and Shirley Temples earlier. When she was 12, she started taking dance lessons, and while in high school, she played the violin and piano. Not only was she musically talented, but she also picked up languages very quickly as well, studying Spanish, German, and Italian. When she was 17, Jayne met Paul Mansfield at a Christmas party in 1949. Paul was 20 and Jayne 17, and the two hit it off immediately. So well that they actually married on May 6th, 1950, just a few months later, and welcomed a baby girl who they named Jayne Marie Mansfield on November 8th. It was a shotgun wedding. That's okay. I'm the product of a shotgun wedding myself. So. Paul and Jayne both enrolled in school at the Southern Methodist University to study acting, but they also decided that they were better as a team, and Paul let Jayne be the star while he worked as her PR representative. I don't know why I said it like that. PR representative. The young couple balanced parenthood, classes, and work together, but they made it work. In 1951, they moved to Los Angeles for more opportunity. Jayne attended UCLA and she entered the Miss California contest, hiding that she was married and was looking like she was actually on track to win. And whether it was jealousy or the fear of getting caught, Paul made her drop out. Jayne was accepted into the University of Austin to study drama, so the two would actually end up moving back to Texas. Jayne didn't skip a beat, though, being out of Hollywood. She worked as a nude art model, she sold books door to door, and she worked at a dance studio. She also joined a campus theater group called Curtain Call, which is such a cute name. She and Paul also participated in many local theater productions themselves. It was a theater family. When Paul was called to serve in the Korean War, though, the young family moved to Georgia, and Jayne and their daughter would live at Camp Gordon there. At the end of 1953, when the war ended, the family would move back to Texas, residing in Dallas, where she studied acting for several more months at the Dallas Institute of Performing Arts. Jayne's mentor, Baruch Lumet, was also the founder of the school and helped Jayne get her first screen test at Paramount in April of 1954. Maybe you've heard of it.
Okay, how old is she at this time?
Like 19, 18, 19, 20.
What age did she get married?
17.
Okay. Everything happened so fast. After marriage, it's like... boom,
Within
boom, boom.
3 years of her being married, Paul was called off to the war, so their daughter is around 3, Jayne's around 20-ish.
Yeah.
And she's going to university. So she got her first screen test in April of 1954, and the family actually ended up moving back to Los Angeles as a result to pursue the career even further. She worked odd jobs to help support the family, like selling treats at the movie theater and teaching dance, and she also modeled part-time. While Jayne didn't make it this first time around at Paramount, she would eventually go on to perform in a sketch of Joan of Arc for them, and she also auditioned to work with Warner Brothers, but seemed to fail to impress them as well. She didn't want to play into the ditzy blonde role that they were pushing her for. She was incredibly smart and as we know, with talents in music and language. She insisted on playing a piano piece, but they weren't interested.
I do love me some Joan of Arc, though.
Right? Great first opportunity at Paramount.
Yeah.
Jayne landed her first official role on air with CBS in 1954 on an episode of Angel Went AWOL. In it, she played the piano and had a few speaking lines. And in February of 1955, she modeled as Playboy's Playmate of the Month in February. She also posed in the calendar for February from 1955 to 1960 and would be featured in the magazine several more times.
Why always February?
Mm. I don't know, but that is why I put a heart on here. Sadly, there was too much strain at this point on the Mansfields' marriage, and Paul and Jayne would divorce in August of 1956. Again, everything's happened super fast here. It is speculated that Paul wasn't as supportive of Jayne's acting career as he seemed. Paul would go on to try and get full custody of their daughter, claiming that Jayne was an unfit mother as a Playboy model, which, sir, low blow. Paul did not gain custody of their daughter and would later remarry and pretty much stop contact with Jayne and his daughter. None of this slowed Jayne down, though, and her film career would skyrocket.
So if he can't ruin the mom's life by taking full custody, then he wants nothing to do with the child at all.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sound like anyone else you know? On May 13th, 1956, Jayne met Mickey Hargitay at a nightclub in New York City. He was performing there as a member of the chorus line, and he was also working part-time as an actor and a bodybuilder. The two fell for each other hard and would get married on January 13th, 1956.
Hargitay? Is that what you said? Hargitay.
Hargitay.
Okay.
Pink was Jayne's favorite color, and since it was her second wedding, she wore a pink dress and had pink champagne at the reception.
Nice.
Mickey and Jayne would appear in multiple films together, eventually performing as a team on stage shows, even going on tour together. The couple would go on to have 2 sons together, Mickey Jr. and Zoltan. In 1950, it took me I couldn't get through it with a straight face.
Zoltan Hargitay. I'm sorry for you.
In 1957, she received a Golden Globe Award for the New Star of the Year. In the actress category, because that's how they used to do things.
The New Star of the Year.
New Star of the Year, yeah.
Okay. I thought you said nude, and I was like,
all right, sure.
Good for you.
You go, girl. And she would go on to perform in dozens of films and plays. In 1960, she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh.
Jayne really did embrace pink as her signature color as well. In November of 1957, she used her inheritance money that she got from when her grandmother passed to buy a 40-room Mediterranean-style mansion in Los Angeles, painting it pink and dubbing it her Pink Palace. She had the house painted pink with cupids surrounding it by pink fluorescent lights, pink fur, and a pink heart-shaped bathtub, and a fountain that spurted pink champagne at all times. Don't get me wrong, pink is my favorite color, but this is too much, girl.
Okay. Is her Pink Palace mansion on a TV show?
I don't think so, because it's basically like crumbling now.
So there's this TV
Unless
show,
they've renovated
I'll find it. There's this TV show about somebody who, I can't remember who, this person who goes around and sells or buys or something, like houses that used to be magnificent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm picturing the show, okay? And this guy went to talk to this girl who bought this house. And I feel like I remember her saying, this used to be this person's house. And this was pink and da, da, da. I feel like this woman bought the pink palace and turned it into not pink anymore, and described about how it used to be pink. But I can't remember the name of the show. It's going to drive me crazy. I'll eventually figure it out. And either I'll send it to you and you can add it to this episode, or I will comment when this episode gets posted when I finally figured it out.
I love it when you comment on things. People are like, Sierra exists. But also, no, I Googled it while you were explaining that to me to see if it was in anything else, because the last I heard it was basically falling apart. Jayne Mansfield's Pink Palace in Beverly Hills, California, was famously decorated and painted pink by the actress in 1957. But the mansion was demolished in 2002 after being sold by, get ready for it, Engelbert Humperdinck.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, that doesn't exist. That's not real.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Why?
Is this person's real name?
A British
the whole
singer.
time you were explaining that to me, I was like, because I read it.
What the fuck?
Did you Google him?
I did Google him.
Okay, you can't go any further. No spoilers.
Engelbert Humperdinck is a part of this fucking episode?
I don't know if it's going to take you to the place of the internet with Jayne Mansfield.
Oh,
no.
I'm just looking at his photos. Apparently he was friends with Elvis.
Oh, cool. Good for him.
He's like British Elvis.
Good for Engelbert
Humperdinck. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I have to.
Tell me.
The name Engelbert Humperdinck refers to both a British pop singer and a German opera composer.
Of course it does.
The British singer, born Arnold George Dorsey, adopted the stage name of the famous composer in the 1960s and 1970s. He rose to international fame. It was a fucking choice, dude. Okay. I'm done looking at pictures of this strange man. Anyway.
But I mean, you know that there's only like one out there other than you.
Yeah, now there's two, really. You weirdo.
Good old Engelbert.
Pink Palace.
Yeah, the Pink Palace. And don't get me wrong, I love the color pink too, but it's feeling a little too much. That is why she was also known to love pink lady drinks when she was out and about. But that's not what we're drinking today, because egg whites and beverages are gross. And if that is your yum, maybe. I'm too scared to try it. I just can't do it.
I have drank egg whites before. My dad convinced me. I was going to say. Get this, to get more protein. In convincing me how to get more protein, my dad convinced me to buy a carton, small carton of egg whites. I think it has like 6 eggs in it. Or something, egg whites. Squeeze sugar-free Hershey syrup into it, shake it up, and drink it. It tastes like a Yoo-hoo. Literally, it tastes like a Yoo-hoo. I did. I drank it for more protein one time. So if you need more protein, there you go.
I'm like,
I know it sounds gross.
Sounds really good and gagging.
Yes. I felt exactly the same until I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. And it tastes just like a Yoo-hoo. It's really good.
And in case anyone was also wondering, totally not Yoo-hoo related, on the day that we were recording this, it is July 10th. It is National Capybara Appreciation Day.
What?
So appreciate your local capybara, okay?
Yeah, appreciate them.
They're so fucking cute.
Yeah,
Amanda,
we don't have any local
got
capybaras.
To pet one. She got to pet a baby one. I'm like, you bitch. So cute. And I was wondering why there was a little critter in my search bar at the bottom of my computer, so I had to let everyone know. Not a beaver, as I thought it was from the cartoon. Capybara Appreciation Day.
There we go.
They're just big, lovable rodents, and I think they're so cute. They're giant guinea pigs. No one
They
can
are
tell me
giant guinea
otherwise.
pigs.
Jayne Mansfield was absolutely gorgeous and became a sex symbol of the 1950s and 60s. Newspapers, because they were run by men, even went as far as posting her body measurements in the paper. Also, in 1960, she played the piano on Broadway for a period of time and became known as the Cleavage Queen, which, like, go off.
Oh, man.
Things between Jayne and Mickey started to fizzle, and she began an affair with a man named Enrico Bomba. He was an Italian producer, and Mickey accused him of deliberately sabotaging their marriage. Mickey and Jayne would file for divorce in 1962.
Okay.
Shortly after this, Jayne discovered that she was pregnant again. And with fear of being an unwed mother ruining her career, she convinced Mickey to announce that they were still married. The two welcomed a daughter, Mariska, on January 23rd, 1964. And Mariska Hargitay, fun fact, also went on to become an actress and starred in Law and Order.
Mm. Well, Mariska is a much better name than Zoltan. But still, Hargitay. She should have took the other last name.
Mickey and Jayne tried to mend their relationship, but it ended up fizzling. But they ended up finalizing their divorce less than a year later. Jayne would marry yet again, though, on September 24th to Matt Clymer, an Italian-born film director. She has a thing for Italian men, I'm sensing here.
On September 24th.
Yeah, also a great day. They met during a stage production of Bus Stop in Yonkers, New York City. The marriage wasn't happy for long, though, as Matt micromanaged Jayne's career and was allegedly abusive towards her. The couple would have Jayne's fifth child together, a son named Antonio Raphael Clymer, in October of 1966. But the couple filed for divorce not long after this. Before their divorce in July, Jayne started living with her attorney, Sam Brody. She was trying to escape one abusive partner, but ended up right back in with another one. Sam fought with Jayne often and was rude to her kids. Now, I could spend 3 episodes on just Jayne's career and another on the grotesque things that men and women said about her and how she chose to live her life. But at the end of the day, she was a talented mother of 5 and an absolute hottie. There is nothing wrong with playing the part in a film industry if it helps further your dream of acting. That, and she was living the life of a woman in the 1960s. She was often compared to and pitted against Marilyn Monroe, which, queen also.
But not the Cleavage Queen.
Not the Cleavage Queen, different type of queen. I, at some point in my podcast studio / library, I picture like a really dark green wall with like black and whites of like Olive Thomas, Marilyn Monroe, Jayne Mansfield, Betty Page, like a little homage to the curvy queens that paved their way. I love old Hollywood. I just think it would be cute with like an old couch and like bookshelves. It would. We're picturing it. We're there. But what I think we need to take away is that she was a legend in her industry, and her work speaks for itself. And her death continues to save lives. Which brings us to the fun fact aspect of Jayne's legacy, and why I chose to tell you about it today. On June 28th, 1967, Jayne Mansfield was in Mississippi for an engagement at the Gus Stevens Supper Club. After midnight, herself, along with her attorney, Sam Brody, and a man named Ronald B. Harrison, who was 19 years old and a driver for the Gus Stevens Supper Club, left to take Jayne towards New Orleans, where she was supposed to appear in a show the next day. In the car were Jayne's 3 youngest children and 4 chihuahuas, also belonging to Jayne. She was the original Paris Hilton, let's face it. At about 2:25 a.m. on June 29th, their car tragically crashed while traveling into the rear of a tractor trailer, or an 18-wheeler, that had slowed down due to an approaching mosquito insecticide fog spraying truck with a flashing red light. So you know when you approach on work trucks and they're flashing their lights? Yeah. I felt like I had to include mosquito insecticide fog spraying truck because never in my life have I heard that term.
Yeah,
this is an absolute tragedy, but the fact that that is what caused it, wild. The 3 adults in the front seat and 2 of the dogs sadly died instantly when the car was pulled underneath the trailer.
Ugh.
The children, who were asleep in the rear seat, survived with minor injuries, thankfully, because they were laying low. They were rushed to Auxerre Foundation Hospital in Louisiana, where Mickey Hargitay arrived to get his children. After her death, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recommended requiring an underride guard, or a strong metal bar made of steel tubing, on all tractor trailers, including reflective strips, for better visibility so that nothing like this ever happens again. In America, the underride guard is also known as a Mansfield bar.
Oh.
Her death shocked her fans, who were left devastated by the loss. And Jayne was just 34 years old and left behind 5 children. Her kids went to live with their respective fathers following her death. And in 1968, the Hollywood Publicists Guild declared a Jayne Mansfield Award would be given each year to the actress who received the most exposure and publicity in her honor. And the reason I touched on her legacy as well is because her youngest daughter, Marika, was just 3 years old when she died, and recently released an HBO documentary in June that was beautifully done called My Mom Jayne, where she reconnects with her siblings and learns more about her mom and her legacy because she was so young when she died. So she never really got that connection. And it made me cry. It was more like about them as a family than Jayne's life, but it was just really beautiful to kind of see that side, because she was painted as this ditzy Hollywood blonde, you know, how the tragedy of Marilyn Monroe, like being incredibly smart, but being forced to play this like part. And yeah, I get that she like remarried and had a bunch of kids and stuff. But you know, people are hurtful and rude about people's lifestyles, but also when you think about it, it's like, even when I was writing these notes, I was like, yeah, that's like, okay, girl, slow down. But then also, like, she's in the 60s. Like, you can't be a mom of 5 kids and try and make a name for yourself and be single, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because knowing if she lived today, she would have done that. So I just think, I don't know that for sure, but I assume she would have. She just seemed like a really strong and independent lady, and her death was really sad. You know, the death, like the Hollywood trope of fascinations of people dying young. Yeah. And while her story doesn't fit my fascination of Hollywood actresses dying in mysterious ways, I thought it was a really good story for today because it surrounded a fun fact, which was that is called a Mansfield bar. So
that is so interesting. I am terrified of semis. I am very thankful that the Mansfield bar exists.
100%.
Sucks that had to happen for it to come about, but you know, things happen and we make the best of them. So
yeah, and I just think it's cool that so much was pushed forward afterwards in terms of safety, because if you were traveling down a foggy, dark highway and a truck in front of you slowed down, you wouldn't see them.
Right.
And if you're driving in a small car, that is what happens. And that is why I'm also terrified of semi-trucks. So
yeah. Also, bonus fun fact, silver is the most dangerous vehicle color in general because it's hard to see at night and also in bright sunshine. So whether at night or in bright light, it's hard to see. Don't buy a silver car. Someone might run into you.
And get your lights and shit fixed. The amount of people that I see driving around without like brake lights that are working, or like,
oh my God, I
it just
cannot stand when people don't have working brake
stresses
lights.
me out.
It sends me. Okay.
Well,
I get
it also
so
reminds me
mad.
of Bridesmaids. But I thought that the story was really interesting. Not really sure what category of ours it fits in. I would say murderless because people died,
Yeah.
but no one was murdered. So that is my murderless story for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I would highly encourage that if you guys have HBO or Amazon Prime, that you go and watch the documentary. It was released literally 12 days ago. I had actually done these notes and then saw that she had that documentary when I was researching it, and I was like, oh shit. So I went and watched it and cried, and it was really it was cool watching like old videos of her as well. She's just like, yeah, anyways, so I went the creepy history route for you all today, and I hope you enjoyed it.
It was great.
And again, take care of yourselves, launch your inner pink if you feel so inclined. And definitely check out that documentary if you also love your mom and need a good cry. That said, do you have anything that will not make us cry? Anything happy? Any final thoughts? Anything you would like to share? For the peeps.
I don't know if this matters to anyone at all, but I had a new client the other day at my spa. And she left me a personal message that was just so sweet. And I'll just read it because why not? If it ever comes up. She said, I wanted to tell you, girl, I loved it. It was so relaxing and comfy, and your whole setup is top tier. I will definitely be back, and I'll recommend whoever I can. I do hair, so if I hear anyone mention it, I will for sure send them your way. And it was so sweet, and it made me so happy.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I love
Did you
when
figure
people
out if
love
she
their
was a
facial.
listener or just a local person?
I'm just a local person.
It'd be weird if it was a listener, I feel like, but
Yeah.
For our listeners that don't follow us on social media, though, please go and follow Sierra's amazing page. Even if you can't live there and get a facial from her, you can get the soothing vibes and the skincare tips still. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least what I rely on because I am very jealous every time I see her post a video of her giving a facial. I'm just like, it looks so dewy and I'm jealous.
It is relaxing.
As my skin is over here profusely sweating from the Canadian heat and lack of AC. My something happy is, why is this so hard? Oh, that I've been very productive this week in terms of my workouts, podcasts, and home chores, which is sometimes a struggle for me with my mental health and being a neurospicy gal. I've actually kept on top of all my shit this week, and I'm very proud of myself. It is the first week that I have felt put together since I've started my new job and my second show. So it's nice to feel back in the rhythm of things and not feel so chaotic. And our friend, Nick Amell, maybe you've heard of him, of the Tennis podcast. And I have been chatting a little bit lately, which has been nice because he's been on hiatus. And he wanted me to say, hi. Those are my two happy things. My two happy
Say
things.
hi to me specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like to listeners. Like,
no, that's weird.
in case they all want to know. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I miss Nick and the show. I still pay for it, even though nothing's happening.
But yeah, that is all I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you like the show, please remember to leave us 5 stars wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. And we will be back next week with Sierra's episode. Not sure what she's got going on for us, but in the meantime, based on her face, I'm not sure if she does either.
I have an idea. I just don't know where it falls.
It's a fun game we're playing
It's
here,
a
guys.
fun game we're playing.
Let us know if you're enjoying it, and your feedback is always important. And if you have a case that you specifically want us to cover, that is another benefit of us doing this format, is we can just slip it right in. So, oh, that sounded gross. I'm sorry. Please slip into our DMs and tell us what story you would like us to cover. I'm not sorry for that one. And in the meantime,
Keep it
keep
twisted.
it twisted.
Twisted and Uncorked is hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alecia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.